Good morning, welcome to Morning Review on Tuesday the 8th of March. This is Kim Watson speaking for Easy Trader. So looking at the euro dollar first, and what we saw yesterday really was a bit of a continuation after a bit of a gap down. Well, I say continuation, we did manage to close up fractionally on the prior close in the end, and well, it's obviously pushing on up back towards that daily 200 as I speak. Now, looking at the shorter time frames, we're getting a bit toppy here. We could run up towards this daily R1 that's above us. There may be some resistance obviously coming in just before that as we run into Friday's highs, so just watching for that. What we've got below us at the moment though is an untouched daily pivot, so if we start seeing any selling coming off, I would be looking at this as a target. For any break of this trend line, this would become a target. Then of course we'd have to put up with the support from the 60 moving averages, here the 21s and the 34, which is tying up quite nicely with the 50. This may actually, if it breaks down to here at some point, give some decent support for another and possibly another move upwards. Okay, so euro at the moment overall, looking on the 4 hourly time frame, this sort of intermediate time frame, looking edging towards the bullish side. It's certainly broken this prior downward trend here, trend line. We've drawn a trend line from the top down to the bottom here. It's certainly broken that line at the moment, but it's not to say we won't see a bit of a retracement this morning. As I say, we've got a chance of coming back for that daily pivot. Okay, cable, pound dollar, again yesterday pushed up, ended up after a day of sitting there meandering, managed to get a good shove up later on in the day, up to the daily 34 moving average, or 4 hourly 200 moving average, on the right hand side here. It looks like it may just pull off a little bit more at the moment. It's just sort of consolidating where it is. It's again daily pivot below. There's a reasonable chance we could just be coming back down towards this area. Again, overall trend wise, we've got these higher lows here and we're pushing in with higher highs. It is pushing up pretty well. I was almost expecting an inside day yesterday, a day where we would just sort of see price meandering, taking into account the fact we'd already moved 5 positive days up. It's quite often that we'll see either a down day or just as I say, a very inside-ish day. But we did yesterday again end up on an up day, so the probability of just sort of staying within range of possibly even yesterday's bar as after all of this movement increases, of course, but it doesn't say it will be essential. So from where we are, as I said, we've got a chance of coming back to this daily pivot. That in itself may provide a bounce and see us run up towards the R1. Any sell-off from there, well, we've got the S1 below us here, and then yesterday's lows with the monthly pivot. So there's plenty of targets to go once we see a clear direction this morning. The drift, as I say, is certainly towards the upside. Dollar yen, well, through the Asian session, we had some poor data coming out from China. The trade balance was pretty poor, and we saw the dollar yen selling off as the risk is taken off the markets again, and we're seeing the safety. So we're seeing the dollar yen as a safety currency effectively, particularly in the Asian region. Hence, we've already seen quite a sharp move down here at the moment. However, it too has an untouched daily pivot above. The possibility of it, traders start buying the dollar, we could see a break of this sort of trend line here and a move back up towards the daily pivot there. Plenty of resistance in the way at the moment. Not quite diverging where we are here, but certainly given that sort of spiky move at the moment. But it's rather early to say at the moment with the yen. And it has been chopped in funny old ways in the morning, so it's not my favourite trade to be doing. So pretty much leave that. Aussie dollar. Now the Aussie dollar on the daily. So finally, I've drawn measured what had been on this chart prior to this sort of move and this current move up here. And it's really had a really good run now. We've extended the original move. Let me just pull out and explain what that was about. What we had here was a head and shoulder pattern sitting here. Now it's pretty much done the distance of the head upwards, so that's what I was really looking for. Now this is bad news in China. It's not good news for one of its major suppliers of raw materials. So we've seen the sell-off coming through, bang into the 1217 extension here. So I can pretty much take that off now. It could be in for a little bit more of a retrace. We'll see, but it's certainly sold off quite strongly this morning. And if you look on the 4-hourly RSI, we were diverging into that secondary high anyway, so maybe we'll see a bit more of a correction. It's already gone through its daily pivot, may be on, and it's already hit the daily S1. Could be on with the pinch that we're seeing in the markets here. It's a smaller range yesterday. Could be on for a break of this trend. It's a bit early to draw a trend line on the current bar, but if we start seeing it break through this level here, may even be down foot towards the 100 MA and the S2 possibility. Okay, finally the Canadian dollar. Well, during the risk situation, I've just got to flick to oil price first, and you'll see that oil price fell off a little bit through the Asian session there, so it's come off around about 1%. And just come back to its daily pivot. So it has pulled back a little bit when the correlation between oil and the Canadian dollar is pretty strong still. So it's no great surprise to see that bigger move running through, and a weakening of the Canadian dollar against the US dollar. Remember, this is US dollar stroke Canadian dollar, so any movement is a weakening of the Canadian dollar. Any movement to the upside, that is. But overall, what we've got to look at here, actually, is come back to the bigger time frames here. And well, daily wise, we've run into the daily 200 now. Again, bit of divergence playing about with these. I mean, it's the same as the Aussie dollars, sort of commodity-based currencies. They've sort of got very much a similar pattern kicking in here at the moment. Already gone through its daily pivot. There is a chance it could push up to its R1 here, 50 MA sitting just below it, and even possibly if we're consolidating around these highs here, if it does shove up some more, perhaps we could see a push up to the 50 MA, the hourly 50. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. News-wise today, let's just have a quick flick through the news calendar and see what we've got coming up today. Should be construction figures at some point. No, I haven't got those out today at all. It must be tomorrow then. Of course, it's Tuesday today. Yep. Okay. So it's not significant. We've had the Chinese trade balance, which was a massive disappointment. We've got some minor data coming in, but we have got Carney speaking at 9:15 today. He testifies before the parliamentary committee, and that can create some volatility around about 9:15 for cable. So that's quite an important one there at 9:15, which is what he's saying, and there are other members of the committee that testify. So watch out for around about 9:15. Sometimes it moves a little bit earlier. Later on, there are the all-day meetings that start with the finance ministers from the EU states, and again we often get a bit of a comment and some comments that could be volatile, which could obviously affect the euro and possibly the pound there. So that's it's an all-day bit of action that's kicking in. So today could be a bit spiky at times. Right, that's pretty much it for me. Have a great day. I'll speak to you later. Bye for now.